What's going on? The Copywriting Call podcast. Your boy Loso 2.0, the copy guy himself, and I have Miss Aletha with us. So, why don't you introduce yourself and kind of just start, telling people, the podcast about what you do.
Well, hi everyone. My name is Aletha, and I currently live in Bel Air, Maryland. I am a recent Delaware State University graduate. I got my bachelor's of science in public health, and I currently work at Johns Hopkins Hospital in Baltimore, Maryland, as a case manager. I'm also a grad student, so right now I am getting my master's in public health epidemiology and infectious disease concentration at Drexel University online. It's very nice to be on your podcast today, and I'm looking forward to answering all of your questions.
All right, so good. It's a pleasure you being on here anyway, right? So, you said you recently graduated. So, what is your ultimate goal of like what you're trying to do with your degrees?
So my ultimate goal is, well, first of all, I'm West African, and
Mhm.
what led me to pursue this path in public health is going back home to my home country, Liberia, and helping stabilize the public health system. We do not have a adequate public health system back home, and that's something that I've always wanted while growing up back home. I grew up back home for 15 years, so I always, dream of making a change in my country. So with this degree, I'm able to help others back home come up with a better plan that we can improve the public health system back home.
Okay, all right, I see that. That's good though. So you're doing it for your community, so something much
Yeah.
bigger than yourself, right?
Yes, it's all about the community, and I'm all about helping my people and leaving a legacy behind. Yeah.
Of course, of course, of course, of course. That's why we all do it, right? So, why choose Delaware State out of all the places to attend?
Well, okay, so Delaware State University, the story. Okay. So I did got accepted to UD and I did got accepted to DSU. So I weighed my options, and me coming from West Africa, I really wanted to go to a university where I feel like I could blend in and learn more about American culture.
Mhm.
Um no disrespect to the University of Delaware, but I just felt like Delaware State University offer me more opportunities and guidelines and everything I'm looking for in a university compared to UD. So when I picked Del State, and it also offered me more scholarships. Of course, you have to go where the money is.
Of
So
course.
so I told my mom, like, I'm going to Delaware State University. And she said, Are you sure? I'm like, Yes, I'm sure. Matter of fact, why can't we go visit the campus and see how the campus is? So when I went to DSU, my first time stepping foot on campus, I was so excited. Like, oh my God, look at all these people. Like I was very excited. The environment was very welcoming. Everybody was just so kind. And another thing that inspired me, everybody looks like me, so there was no
Mhm.
really any discrimination, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was a positive environment. That's one of the reasons why I picked Del State.
Okay. All right. That's all good. That's all good. So you went there all 4 years.
Yes, yes.
All right. Cool. 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 I think that's where. Because yeah, we both went to the same school. I only went there 2 years though. It's cool though.
Uh-huh.
It's a nice little thing. So okay, cool. So that's what you're doing. So is your family so what is your, like your parents doing stuff like that? Are they also in the public health or
No, no. I'm actually first generation public health between my mom and dad. My dad is back home in Africa, and my mother is currently in Alaska, working. So I'm first generation public health, first generation master's degree.
Mhm.
So that's like that's like a major, I guess, celebration or accomplishment, if you say.
Mhm.
But they're both hardworking individuals, I say that.
Okay. So you said they're real hardworking individuals. So that's where you
Mhm.
feel like you got your drive from, stuff like that from your parents.
Well, I feel like I got my drive from my grandmother because I was raised by my grandmother back home, and she was a very hardworking, independent woman. So
Mhm.
she made sure that I was okay. not only okay, but I was doing better as I grew up. She taught me so many feminine traits and everything, like how to behave like a woman, how to carry yourself as a woman, household chores and everything. When it comes to education, she doesn't play about education, and that's how I am. She always say they can take everything from you, but one thing they cannot take from you is your education as a woman. And I stand on that today, and I believe in it, and I see it worked, and I'm working towards it.
Yeah, no. So are you trying to, so when you go back home after get all of your degrees and stuff and you're really locked in, are you trying to open up like your own practice, or are you looking for someone else to work for? Or...
Eventually, yes, but right now, let's say in the next 10 years, the ultimate goal for me right now is to work with the World Health Organization.
Mhm.
That's the ultimate goal for now, but let's say as I get closer to like, my 50s or my late 40s, then I will open my own public health practice. Just
Mhm.
just basic public health education, like sanitary stuff about women, teaching women, different stuff in the community, not only women, but also like men and, about basic public health practice, pretty much.
Okay. All right. All right. What's stopping you from doing that earlier then, instead of just waiting or trying to, wait until your 40s or 50s?
Well, I didn't mention, but I'm also going to go to law school.
Oh, law school too.
Yes.
Okay.
So after this master's, I do plan to go to law school. Hopefully, I'm successful in getting into law school because I do want to practice healthcare and policy law. And my reason being is a lot of the policy for healthcare in the US, it's kind of like it's very bad.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Okay. All
hope
right.
I hope they don't take offense today, but it's very bad for patients, and it's something I want to advocate for, and at least make a change in where I see the problem is. So yes, so I will be also practicing law. So it's going to take a long time, but I know within myself that once I set my mind to something, I can definitely accomplish that.
Hey, listen, that's power to that. I love seeing, like, our people really, doing their thing. I mean, I'm not all the way African American, I'm Puerto Rican, but we look this, similar though, right? So brown
Yeah,
skin.
we have similar cultures. Yes. Mhm.
So yeah, no, I get it though. So no, that's good that I love seeing us win. That's what pretty much this podcast is about. So with working, because I know going to school for a science major is crazy. I went to school for neuroscience and stuff, and it was just I'm not using my degree. Well, I guess in a way, because mindset and stuff. And then also on top of that, working, because you said you work for, where do you work for right now too?
I worked for Johns Hopkins Hospital.
So working for the hospital and doing a science degree, with all of these things that you're trying to be or will be actually, and I know you will accomplish them. How do you find time to pretty much have for yourself, or have fun? What I mean, or be it like, how old are you?
I am 23 years old. I just turned 23 like
Oh
a
yeah,
week
oh yeah, oh
ago.
yeah. I did see that. I did see that. Yeah, I just turned 25. So look, all right. So how do you find all this time to still have fun and be, quote unquote, like not a kid, but you know what I mean, like enjoy your 20s?
Yeah, just have fun, like live in the moment. It's
Mm-hmm.
all about time management, like I work 40 hours a week as I'm talking to you right now. I
Mm-hmm.
have coding, I have a class that's very hectic right now in our major. So
Mm-hmm.
as I'm talking to you right now, I have a code that's currently open. I have to code literally. So it's all about time management because when I get off work, I know that hey, I have school. But I also in a week, I also have that time where I set aside my personal time. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like certain hours on the weekend. I may take 3 hours off on the weekend just to go out and have fun or take myself out somewhere like to a restaurant or a movie or go for a walk. But I always make sure to have that time for myself. Even if it's not a lot of time, I always make sure to have that time for myself. And I also make sure to take vacations because those are very important. I love to travel. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm always on, my friends say I'm always on the plane.
Yeah.
But I do love to travel. That's like a mental relief for me. And
Mm-hmm.
I also incorporate my exercises into it. So I wake up 5 a.m. in the morning and go to the gym to exercise. That's how I start my day. That's like my mental booster for the day and the week is exercise. So those little things that I do makes me feel better to accomplish whatever goal I have to accomplish that day, whether it's work or school. Like, I'm doing something, but I also have like 2 hours to spare for me, if that makes sense.
No, that does make sense. Because that actually was going to my next question. Like, I mean, with all this stuff, you're gonna have those ups and downs. How do you take care of your mental health? But I guess you answered that question. Working out, traveling, being around like a circle. I get you. Just doing your thing. No, that's cool. That's cool. Then, um, so so I know like 95% of people being successful has to do with their environment. So what does your environment look like? Do you hang out with other people who want to be in the public health, or like what's your support like as far as like your friend group and all that?
I have friends. My two best friend, one is accounting and one a teacher. So they are very supportive. We are very supportive of each other. And I have my family, like my aunties, my cousins, they are very supportive. And I have I have a mother, like a very close mother, a woman that I see as my mother that I met when I got to DSU, and we have a very close bond. So emotionally, she always been there emotionally and everything. So I have those positive people around me, like my cousins, I have those positive people around me that gave me the energy booster. Like if I'm down or I'm stressing, for instance, I'm stressing very much on this class. So they encourage me, like, don't quit, just keep going, do whatever you can do to pass it and move on to the next project. So them in my circle, being so positive, and I'm giving them positivity back and they're giving me positivity back. It's just amazing to have that. Not everybody have that, but I'm very fortunate to have that and those people in my life right now.
That's very important. No, I agree. That's extremely important. Definitely to have, somebody that's in your corner pushing you. Because I mean, not even like the life of an entrepreneur, but just like a life of successful people. It gets lonely sometimes, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, no. And I don't mean like that, but yeah. in that sense too, though, like, do you also have like, I mean, not to put all your business out there, but like, do you feel like this being so filled up with your schedule, your self time and stuff like that, which is all important, working also, do you feel like that affects your ability to have like relationships or something like that? Or are you in a relationship and you guys both are doing good? Or
it doesn't really affect my ability to have a relationship. It's just all about, me and the other individual making time to see each other. I can always make time. If I really care about you, I will always make time for you. It's all about the other person making time for me. If he cares about me, he should be able to make time for me. I shouldn't be putting all the effort and the energy. Then that's not a relationship. That's one-sided. So it's just all about me and him or whoever it is making time to see each other, because time can always be made. If you care about someone, you will always make that time for them.
I definitely agree with that. 100%. 100%. So, if anybody listens to this podcast, when they say, I actually made a podcast episode about that. If someone says like, oh, I need time to focus on myself, that is not true. That is a lie, because that is literally what makes a successful relationship. It's true though. That's what makes a successful relationship. You working on yourself, them working on yourself, and together you guys are two whole.
Yeah, absolutely. When you're me, when you two individual meet, you'll have things to talk about because you're both working on yourself. So that's important.
Yeah, no, it is though. So I know you say, which part of Africa you said you were from?
West Africa. I'm Liberian.
Liberian. Okay, cool. My friend, I'm trying to figure out my friend is, because my close friend Ibram. I don't know if you know Ibram.
I don't think so. Did he go to DSU?
Yeah, he's from Philly. He's
okay.
If I see a picture, I'll probably know him. So most likely he will probably be part of ASA, African Student Association. So
No, he wasn't part of that.
he wasn't.
No, we were kind of low key, so we just
Oh,
like,
never mind.
no, but no, that's why I know. I don't know a lot about African culture, but like his mom, she be cooking food, and I love African food. I ain't gonna lie.
Mhm.
Yes. I was like, oh, all right, this is what happened. Like it almost feels like you don't even have to like work out. Like you can eat the food and still and be in good shape because it's
Yep.
like enough amount of protein. It's like I don't know. I'm not
It's
explaining.
very organic. It's very organic.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's called is it called potato and greens? What is it
Potato
called?
greens.
Yes, yes,
That
yo.
means he's Liberian.
Yeah, like yeah. So yo, his mom
Yes.
up every time we put over the white rice and stuff like that. I always be asking like, look, I get some more of that. Not for real though. That's on jumping now. But so as far as like with being Liberian, right? Is there like a certain religion that you follow too as well, or?
No, it's like Christian. You can be whatever religion you want to be, but I'm Christian and I'm a Methodist. So
Yeah.
my whole family is like Methodist. Like my grandfather, my great grandmother from my father's side, my mother's side, it's like everybody's like Methodist. So we just follow that practice. But it's like whatever you want to be. You know, not everybody grew up to be Methodist. Some people are
Mhm.
different, but it's whatever you want to be. There is no restrictions for
No, of course.
Liberians when it comes to religion. You know, we
No,
choose
of course.
whatever we want to do. So
Yeah, I'm a real spiritual person, not religious, but
mm.
I do like hearing about other religions and stuff like that because that's where I just do a lot of my
Yeah,
study.
like I'm not super like I can go to a Baptist church, I can go to a Catholic church, believe it or not, I can even go to a mosque to visit, but I'm not really a religious type core person, but I do believe in God and I'm spiritual and I pray to him and he answers my prayers. That's really all I care about is I know who God is at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. I was gonna ask you that. So like how was that with finding time for that as well? So you said you pray and stuff like that. Do you said you feel like that helps a lot as well with everything that you got going on?
Oh my goodness. Yes. Carlos, right? Carlos is your name? Yes. Oh my
Yeah.
God. Yes, my prayers do work. Okay. People that say like there's no God, they don't believe in God.
Mhm.
I don't think so. I'm not gonna judge you, but for me, I know who he is. I know he
Mhm.
answers my prayers. Before I go to sleep, I pray. When I wake up, I pray. Before I eat, I pray. Literally, when I say, God, please direct me in, please give me the wisdom and pull me in this direction. It
Mhm.
would take time, but I know that I have to be patient because I know, it works. And my life story with my parents, it's just when I say my life story, people will be like, how are you surviving? I'm surviving because of the grace of God. And I stand on that any day, literally. It's all because of God that I keep going. So I definitely believe in him and my prayers do work.
Now that's good. Now, when you were saying that, see now I gotta ask now. Okay,
Oh God.
what's your childhood like, man? You know what I mean? Because I'm not. I mean, I know. So most successful people. It sounds crazy though, but a lot of successful people have some crazy behind childhoods. Listen, my book will be published next month. I don't know if you read the whole thing, but there was some crazy stuff in there, man. It happened to me when I was a kid and stuff. So, what was your childhood like, and how do you feel like that's helped you to be so focused right now? You know what I mean? And be so successful.
Okay, let's revisit childhood trauma and stuff. Okay, so obviously growing up, like I was about what 3 years old, I think. When my mother left Liberia when I was like 3 months old, according to the story. She
Mm-hmm.
left Liberia and actually not Liberia, but Ghana, actually, because I was born in Ghana because of the civil war in Liberia. So she actually left Ghana and came to the US. So I really didn't we really didn't have that mother and child bonding. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
My father was around, but he was never in my life when I was growing up. That's why I said that everything I am today is because of my grandmother who raised me
Mm-hmm.
up. So she left, and then I think at the age of 3, I was with her dad, and in the process of me staying with her dad, I got severely burned as a baby. You know, nobody's watching the kids roaming around, and I was very high headed, of course. So roaming around, I got burned. They took me to the hospital. My grandmother, that's when my father's mom came to get me from my grandfather. And
Mm-hmm.
she started to raise me. So in that process of it, both parents were never around. It was always my grandmother.
Yeah.
So when she passed in 2014,
Sorry to
so
hear that.
yeah, when she passed, thank you. When she passed, then my mom, who's in Alaska, decided to send for me to come over here. So I came here when I was in high school. So I did high school here and I did college, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So she sent for me and I came over here to do high school. And oh my gosh, it was not a good experience living with her in the house. Oh my goodness, she's a very toxic person. I'm telling you,
Mom?
yes, my blood mother. She's very toxic. I'm telling you, I literally, when I was going to college,
Mm-hmm.
she only dropped me off at DSU and took a traveling job. So she only stepped foot on DSU campus, I think twice, one to drop me off, and the other one was to meet at that time, my college, my little college boo I had. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what she did on campus to meet him. And that was it. And she never stepped foot on campus until graduation day. And last year, okay, we in 2022. So last year, before I graduated, I actually had to go to therapy to kind of let all of this out because she's one thing is not only is she toxic, but she's also controlling. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like she wants you to do what she wants you to do. It's like if you make your own decision on your own, she considered that mad disrespectful. Like you were being disrespectful to her, like you don't respect her, and she would call you all sorts of names. She even called me the B word and everything. Mind you, I'm her only child, by the way. I'm her only child on this planet Earth. Okay.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So yeah, so it's like when I was graduating, we got in a major argument where I was like, I'm not going to invite you to my graduation. You don't need to be there. But my auntie, my uncle, they were like, they call me by my middle name, Masno. Like, Masno, like, don't do that. She's your mom. I'm like, okay, fine. Like, So I went to therapy and me and my therapist went through the healing process and I'm over it now. That's why I'm able to talk about it and laugh and say, okay, let's visit childhood trauma and stuff like that because I'm over it. I've moved on. But, sometimes talking about it just really makes me mad. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes when you talk
Yeah.
about stuff that is not okay for people to do to you, it kind of makes you mad. So, yeah, so she came to my graduation. She was like a total stranger at my graduation. I'm telling you. If I didn't introduce her to my mom, nobody would know who she is. Literally, my two best friends, the first time they met her was at my graduation in college, right? Where most of my other friends, their mom had met me like multiple times, have my number multiple times, but she didn't have any of my friends' number, literally. Because she never did put in the effort. And
Yeah.
she's the most hypocritical person in the family. Like she would criticize people for everything else, but not see herself in the mirror what she's doing to her child. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's, and she's been like that since. So last year she did not wish me happy birthday.
You said she didn't?
She did not.
Damn.
And she didn't wish me happy birthday. And then this 2 weeks ago, my birthday was 2 weeks ago. She didn't wish me happy birthday either. But she had the audacity to watch all my stories on Instagram and keep tabs with everything I'm doing. You see how
That's crazy.
that is crazy and very much weird, right?
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. It is.
So it's like at this point in my life, it's like my dad was telling me, like, even though he's not in my, he's not really like I don't really see him as a father figure, but at least try his best to make up for some things that he didn't do when I was little. He just advised me to, like, at this point, you just need to call her off and ask her how much she paid for you to come to the US because she literally she doesn't contribute anything to your life at this point, Or
Yeah.
now you not wishing your only child happy birthday. It's like a major, major thing.
Yeah, that's crazy.
There's no relationship there. So why are you even calling her mom? He was like, you need to call her by her first name. Why are you even calling her mom? There's nothing there. There is nothing there. But I
That's
told you, I
petty.
just like it's just out of respect that I'm doing
Hmm.
it. But I told myself that I will continue to be successful. And another thing that she said to me before I graduated was, "Oh, you will never get a job when you graduate. The degree you pick, you will never get a job. But look who have a job, and look who's successful in a program, and who's successful in school, and who's successful in life, and continue to be successful." That's why I say to people that my prayer works, that God is in
Hmm.
my life, because He know the kind of parents I came from and the kind of mother I have. So it's like when and I told myself that I never aspire to be that type of mother to my future children. Never,
Hmm.
never. Like I don't want to be that type of mom. Like I don't even want her around my children because there's nothing she can instill in them because she didn't instill anything in me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what can you teach my kids? You didn't teach me anything other than being toxic, you know?
Yeah. I know
So
what you mean. I know
yeah,
what you
so
mean.
literally it's like, so yeah, so that's the childhood trauma, but it's very important that anybody that will listen to this, it's very important that you heal yourself so you can be able to make wise decisions for your life and move forward without looking back. So when people ask you, you can be able to explain the story, but just match you in like I am. I'm like, oh, okay, I tell you about it. And people are usually shocked, like, oh my gosh, like really? Oh, yes, really. That's the kind of parent I have. Specifically, that's the kind of mother I have. So
Hmm.
that's the story.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, like, I mean, it, I understand it definitely. It's something that I'm trying to get over to as well with my father and stuff like that too as well. It's just to be like, I want to just like speak to him and just be like, hey, listen, I forgive you, regardless of all the stuff, because it's like at the end of the day, even though like you're still being successful, you're still doing all the stuff you like that, it still can hold like a little bit of a baggage on you. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? That's what because it's funny, my dad actually, it's not even about me, but he actually stopped claiming me because of a podcast episode, which was funny to me. But there's so much other stuff in that anyway, though. But it's just like I just feel like, maybe it would be good, you guys, if you can try to have a conversation with her, just tell her you forgive her. But then it's just like, you don't have to, that don't mean you have to still be cool with her, keep still doing all that stuff. But it's just a matter of just like letting her know that, what I mean, you let it go. Just something so you can get off your, it's not
I
really so much
mean,
hurt yourself.
I have told her, like, I don't have nothing against you. I never had anything against you. I see you
Mhm.
as my mom. I love you as my mom. But at this point in my life, I think it's to love you from distance and not bring you close to me anymore. Because
That's
obviously you don't want that. You I don't like having one-sided relationship with people. The amount of
yeah.
energy I pour into you, I need you to give me that same energy back. If you cannot give me that energy back, that means that I need to take myself away from that situation because obviously I'm gonna be draining myself at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Of course. Of
yeah,
course.
and I need all this energy for myself. So she knows I have nothing against her. Why
Mhm.
would I have something against you? She knows that. It has been made clear to her. She knows that, but it's just when people are bitter, people have their own childhood trauma to deal with, and they don't want to deal with it. Sometimes you just have to walk yourself away from that situation because you don't want to bring yourself into that toxic environment because it's not healthy for anybody. And I don't think I need to be in that environment. You know what I'm saying? So she is aware that I don't have anything against her. Or else I would have blocked her and everything, but I didn't.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's definitely good. Now that was actually a lunch. You wouldn't, and the thing is, you wouldn't even tell that by seeing all the success and stuff that have and all that
Yep,
stuff. So,
that's why I always say people will never know until I tell you my story and you'd be like, huh? So I guess I carry it well and I thank God for making me carry this burden well.
yeah, no, of course, of course, of course, you're doing a great job with everything going on and all that stuff like that.
You know.
Yeah, no, no, of course, of course. So you're gonna have your own practice of public health, but you're also gonna be in law for public health. There were some childhood traumas with your mom. You still were able to be successful. I think this was all really great for the episode. Now, let me ask you this: if you had to leave the audience with one big lesson, what would it be? Or one piece of advice.
One piece of advice to the audience is trust your intuition.
Mm-hmm.
Always listen to yourself. Like, if you feel unsure about a certain situation and you feel it within yourself that that's not a good thing to do, take it to the Lord in prayer. He will put you in he will push you in the right direction. But never don't never be like, oh, I'm not going to listen to myself, I'm going to ignore my intuition. Don't do that, especially for women.
Mm-hmm.
We need to listen to ourselves because our intuition are right 100% of the time. Like I said,
100.
If you feel unsure, if you feel unsure about it, pray about it. If you're religious, pray about it. If you're not religious, whatever you can do that will make that intuition feeling come to light, do it. But me personally, I listen to my intuition. I do.
All right. And I mean, listen, it's been working for you thus far, so you only got to do what keeps working, right?
Yes.
So say people want to reach out to you, even like women or even men, whatever, just want to talk to you or get some advice and stuff like you for somebody doing it or in the public health field. How can they reach you?
They can reach me on my Instagram, and I will give you my Instagram. Is IT. It has let me that way I don't forget my Instagram handle. Lord Jesus. Okay. ITS. A has an apple, L has in Larry, E has in Edward, T has in Thomas, H has in Harry, A has an apple, Aletha. Yeah, that's how you spell my name. So it's Aletha, because people pronounce my name wrong all the time. I just keep it short. It's Aletha. Or they can reach me via email. And I will give you my email so you can give it to, you can tag me in it and put my email address down. So that's fine.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine with me. That's fine with me. Well, that's everything. It was a pleasure having you here on the podcast. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule with everything to hop on.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you for having me. Now back to coding. So everybody have a nice day.
All right, y'all. Well, everybody just keep killing the day. If you watch this on YouTube, like, subscribe, share this channel. And if you listen to this on any type of podcast platform, 5-star reviews all day. Keep killing the day. And remember, you pray for success like this. 2.0 out.
Amen. Bye, everyone.